Just gonna watch from over here. Oh my God!
His head popped off.
Oh my God, Tom! What did you do? We're
so
just supposed
sorry.
to kill them.
I'm so
His
sorry.
head's gone.
Holy Tom. What the
Can we
bro?
put it back?
Holy f***ing animal,
Can't put
bro.
it back, Tom. Oh, I removed his head too. His legs are gone too. These people are exploding now. Oh my God!
There's a form of multimedia entertainment beyond that which is good. These games are as vast in number as they are terrible. They dwell in the dark recesses of history, unearthed from the pits of the bargain bin. These are the games of horror. This is Garbage Game Night.
Welcome to Garbage Game Night, a podcast about games that end up in the discount bin. Are they bad? Are they misunderstood? Did they deserve a second chance? We're going to dive in and find out, but first let me introduce our soldiers this evening. Frank, how are you tonight?
I am doing well.
Excellent. Hunter, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Great, glad to have you back.
Yeah,
and,
good to be back.
Good. And
So
Tom,
happy.
How are you?
I'm doing really good, man.
Good.
I no one said it to you yet, and yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I'm not going to. I just
Well, fuck
And
you
I would
guys.
never-
Wow.
Nobody
Turn the
cares.
scoreboard
Everybody
back
gets
on.
negative
I'm
points
thinking
now.
about giving. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
you know
It
what they
just-
say. I feel like low hanging fruit. You're not supposed to grab that shit. You know.
Right, it's just low hanging for a reason, right? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't think that's a thing. Let's start with the last game we played on GGN. Was America's Army Proving Ground. I'm really sorry you weren't able to enlist, Hunter. Did anyone else get their recruitment email though? I'm curious.
No.
No one did.
Yeah.
That's
weird.
That's
I'm
why
the only one who got an
I
enlistment
skipped
email.
out.
Yeah, you didn't want to get contacted by your
No,
local
I don't want to
recruitment
put.
office?
They already have enough information about me.
Well, you could
I
have
guess-
just put it in Florida, and then you'd be like, "Oh man, sorry, I don't live there anymore."
I'll put it in like Denmark.
They saw my scores, how many my kill death ratio, how I was racking that up, and they just had to reach out to me immediately. That must have been what it was. I was really happy with how that episode came out, though. I can't believe I forgot to mention in the episode I cited the website Spy Culture, website run by a gentleman by the name of Tom Secker, writing about Hollywood propaganda and security services articles and stuff. And I actually reached out to him, talking about us citing him and his work, and he reached back out to me and had a really friendly and nice little back and forth. And I thought that was cool. Look at us, GGN, talking to journalists, you know?
Yeah. Bridging the gap.
Yeah, that's us.
About American propaganda.
That's us. But anyway, make sure to check out the YouTube or podcast if you missed it. We do have audio or video versions of these things that we do when we record them live on Twitch every other Monday, except last week. Took last week off. Had to get some vacay. It's worth it. All right. There it is. Talk some GGN news real quick about things going on in the gaming world, and if you're playing anything interesting, if you want to bring it up. But the biggest news, as usual, happens the day that we record podcasts. It's always on Monday. I don't know if you guys heard, and I didn't mention it to you. Square Enix sold off a bunch of their own Western studios and IPs to this big conglomerate called the Embracer Group, which sounds very ominous. But the Embracer Group currently or already controlled Gearbox, THQ, Nordic. Gearbox, ironically, is the studio who did the game we're doing tonight, but they also sold off their IPs: Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain. So yeah, Square Enix doesn't have much of any like IPs and doesn't seem to be pursuing too much going on as far as like Western games go. They had published Guardians of the Galaxy, and that failed Marvel's Avengers game. Tom, you were playing Guardians of the Galaxy despite being very well received and selling like 100 million copies or so. Just they always are putting out statements saying that they're underperforming, so they're just they're not happy with it. Yeah, I don't have any.
I couldn't even draw
on giant
anything
conglomerate games
that I would have done better. I thoroughly loved it. It was great. That's weird.
Yeah, it's just another studio acquisition. Who knows what it holds? I didn't even know this group existed, honestly. Embracer Group. So
Everyone always thinks things are just going to keep going up. You know, they're always like. You know, with the housing market, stocks, everything, it's always like, if it ever goes down, they're like, well, it's over now. It's like, guys, I think things go up and down, man. It goes up and down. It's the same thing
for a publicly traded company
game
that
sales
it has to
and stuff. I mean, like, so do we know if they sold 100 million units?
I think they had announced that it had. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the amount that they had confirmed it sold.
Look,
which
if you're not happy
is
with
not
that,
a small
you're
number.
not gonna be happy with anything. And I think you should just, I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing with Netflix. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
How can that grow infinitely? There's a finite amount of people in the world, right? So
I'm
as soon as they stop adding subscribers,
for 10 years, and finally, it's like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're arguably you're killing it. You're killing it. Like, you have enough money rolling in that you're able to produce new content all the time. Like, just live in your success.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a publicly traded company, for the sake of their shareholders, they have to prove that they're continuously growing, and maybe that's not sustainable.
I mean, that's one of the things that also about stocks is really stupid. You, as a publicly traded company, you can't take as many risks as you could with a privately traded company. But it's like, well, how is she gonna maybe do something great if you don't take risks? I don't.
All right, I'm gonna drag us forward.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of stuff to get through.
Screaming.
Kicking and
anyway, don't
screaming.
watch the Ultimatum on Netflix. Stop saying.
Okay,
don't watch
the Ultimatum.
It's not good.
Also, Overwatch 2 beta is finally here. What is Overwatch 2, you may ask? It's Overwatch with a 2 after it. I enlisted in the beta. I was not able to get into it. I've watched quite a bit.
Did you not send them an email?
But you have a successful podcast.
Yeah, well, we have a podcast.
I'm a content creator. I create content.
Yes. Don't look at my
I
ratings.
think of us as content destroyers. Yeah, we destroy content here.
We get money to create content. Not necessarily for the podcast, but we get money elsewhere.
Who's making money?
Yeah.
So I watched a little bit. This is coming from someone who has hundreds of hours in Overwatch 1. I jumped in, watched some Overwatch 2. Genuinely thought I was watching Overwatch 1. Really confused about what their whole approach here is. Like, if they feel like their free game needs to go to like a purchase model to continue like doing more updates, like, I don't know, just there's got to be a better way to roll this thing out. But like, the game really is Overwatch 1 with a couple more modes, and I believe them that it's on a new engine. Maybe it feels a bit different, but man, it's confusing and seems very underwhelming so far.
Wait, so Overwatch 2 is going to be free to play?
No, what he's saying is like they've been updating the game so much, but
I gotcha.
It's not like a monthly subscription or anything.
I mean, how?
Yeah, it's still unknown.
They gotta be killing with the loot
time.
box still, right? I mean, maybe not now because
it's definitely fallen off, and you had to rename characters, and but I don't know. They had to push really hard to make it free to play to begin with, and they sold God knows plenty of probably loot box stuff. But I'm sure they're just looking for a way to monetize it more. And whatever this game is, it's just real confusing so far. Because I mean, it's still like push the payloads, and the major change was that they changed it from 6-player teams to 5-player teams.
What?
As a big revolutionary thing to rebalance what the game is. But numbers. Like so far, people aren't thrilled with it. So
well, I mean, imagine you've had a 6-player team for so long, and now you gotta
definitely an adjustment.
You gotta kick off the weak player. Like we'd have to get rid of Tom.
Yeah, everyone knows who it is.
I saw that joke coming a mile away.
Another thing, Skull and Bones, the game. Has anyone heard of Skull and Bones?
I have.
Okay, you have heard of it. Yeah, it's the game made by Ubisoft that they put into production after Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They decided that they have this pirate stuff. People love it so much. We better start building a game. That was 6 years ago now.
And hasn't whatchamacallit like bled that fucking dry?
The other pirate game.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
it's
think that
a
like
less cartoony Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves like hit that well.
Tapped.
Like here's that idea of like being on the sea and like you're gonna go in here, but like now it looks more realistic, and that's it.
So some test footage came out this week. The gameplay like shockingly showed no on-foot exploration or sword fights. Instead, it seemed to focus just on naval combat. But again, this was just unofficial test footage that leaked from God knows when. Like what version of the game may not show the whole picture. And a spokesperson did say that it didn't reflect the current version of the game, and there has been activity on their accounts posting like new updates are going to happen apparently finally, but so far they've supposedly racked up about 200 million in costs building this game that supposedly is like, or people are like directionless about what they're actually building, and it hasn't had firm footing yet.
Well, they have like
sea legs.
combat basic down, but still building a game around it, like I don't know.
Yeah, standalone property. All right, and one more thing in the news. Oh boy. Finally, Activision, which is inching closer to being purchased by Microsoft, announced the 47th Call of Duty, which is not a joke. There's a list with 47 Call of Duties, and this one's going to be called Modern Warfare 2. That's what they're going to call it.
I thought they already had one.
You may think we had a Modern Warfare 2 in 2009.
That was like ours, right, Chris? The one that we played religiously?
And then they even had a Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered in 2020, but this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 with 2 Roman numeral 1s, I guess is what sets it apart. It'll probably be the same thing and sell 1 billion copies, and it'll take an entire solid state drive to store it. It'll be great. We'll all play it. But we are here tonight to talk about, as the panel already knows, we are playing Aliens, Colonial Marines. Now, I'll be the first to admit I do not know the Aliens franchise that well. I think I've seen probably most of them at some point, although I looked over the film list and there's a couple that I didn't know existed, especially the Alien vs. Predator ones.
You didn't know they existed?
Really?
I saw Alien vs. Predator, the first one. I didn't realize there was a second Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, the second one's even more fucked up.
Yeah, and the movie Covenant. Do you guys know what Covenant is?
Yeah. It's Aliens Covenant.
That's the direct sequel to Prometheus?
It's the direct sequel to Prometheus. Yeah, I didn't know that existed. I saw it and I'm like, I have no memory of seeing anything about this.
Yeah, and I think they also released like a short film that's like the prequel to that movie as like a hype thing. And I saw that and I'm like, maybe this is good. I don't know. And then I got whatever.
Covenant has decent reviews, better than Prometheus, I think.
Yeah.
Prometheus.
Covenant has better reviews than Prometheus?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
It had good reviews from
because I think Prometheus was a little more out there.
It was less aliens.
Yeah, so that's what I
Prometheus
think
was
people were
just
upset about.
terrible, I thought.
Really? Prometheus
But I thought it brought back the cheese, People want the cheese. They want the cheddar. They want the mozzarella.
Prometheus gets made fun of all the time for having some of the worst horror movie character decisions.
Tropes, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
There's a guy he's a biologist. Like his whole jam is literally
takes
and like
his
there's
helmet
a thing.
off the second he gets out of the ship.
Well, there's this snake. There's this hissing snake monster that's like, and he literally
sticks his face in it.
Puts his hand over it and why would you? What fucking animal does that wants you to touch it? How fucking dumb are you, man? That's so fucking stupid. And then the giant donut rolling in a straight line, and they run in a straight line from it when they could just run left or right. These are geniuses. Their characters are geniuses, and they're so fucking stupid. It's embarrassing.
What matters for the sake of this game is that we know the events of Aliens, which is the second film after Alien and would be followed by Alien 3. It's a little confusing. Aliens, then Alien 3.
One would argue more of a action movie than a horror movie.
That would be correct, yeah. So you've got Alien, 1979, real quick, sci-fi horror film by Ridley Scott, often cited in top 10 sci-fi films or top 100 lists of all films. It's a slower paced movie, kind of like a haunted house kind of movie, honestly. It's all aboard the ship. It introduces Ridley, played by Sigourney Weaver. She and the crew are on the ship Nostromo, returning to Earth, and they get a distress signal from a nearby moon. They find out it came from the alien ship, which is often called the derelict ship. It's like a crashed alien ship. When they get there, it's actually a warning to avoid the ship. A facehugger creature lays an egg in one of the crew members. Facehugger dies. They think the whole thing's fine until a creature busts out of his chest. They have to hunt the creature down, try not to make it bleed because it's got corrosive blood. Creature grows up real quick. It starts picking off crew members inside the ship, and they discover one of the crew is an android with a mission of securing the creature and bringing it back for bioweapon purposes or something. Ripley manages to be the sole survivor on an escape pod, and the xenomorph, however you prefer to pronounce it, was attached to the pod that she was on, but she torched it with the ignition, and then she goes into stasis. End of Alien. That was nice and concise, right?
Frank! Were you taking notes? Were you taking notes?
Well, like you missed all the meat of the film.
Yeah. What about the cat?
You didn't even mention the cat.
Yeah, where are the cats?
What about the physical gags? You got to mention every single physical gag. But like I said, Aliens, the second film, is much more important to this game. And like Tom said, I mean, we're not doing a 5-minute film, and Tom had some good suggestions for making improvements for 5-minute films. Tom also suggested that maybe for one of the 5-minute films, instead of Frank, someone else, unprepared, has to explain the plot of a movie. Wow. So, Tom, are you ready to go through this slideshow and try and explain the plot of Aliens? It doesn't matter if you're not ready. When was the last time you watched Aliens, Tom?
It's been a long time, but I've at least seen it.
Been talking shit, Tom. Now, how about you go for it?
All right.
Just so you know, my suggestion wasn't not Frank so much as it was, what if it was someone unprepared?
Talking shit, Tom. Let's see you do it, baby.
So I have a bunch of screens here grabbed from Movie Spoilers Alerts YouTube channel, so shout out to them, but it's not your movie Spoilers Alerts YouTube channel. It's 20th Century Fox. So also I watched the movie today, so I can help you along if you absolutely need it. But all right.
Okay.
All right. Aliens, 1986 sci-fi horror film, maybe action film. Take it from here, Tom.
Okay, so we got some soldiers. They are on the Nostromo and Nostromo, and they find a in stasis Sigourney Weaver.
It's an escape pod that left from the Nostromo, but close enough. Go ahead.
Already.
And then so after they pull her out, she's in the hospital recovering because it's rough being in stasis, and is put right into a meeting where they're like, okay, guys, we need to figure out what happened on the ship that you were on. And you can see behind her, that's the guy that the cat witnessed getting murdered. I remember that. And, there's a lot of people in this place. A lot of money.
No, this is the base.
This
is Hadley's Hope. This is the base.
A lot of money at the base.
Okay.
Oh, and the Weyland Corporation, they're the ones that make the androids, and they're very excited about these aliens, and they want to have aliens for like war purposes. And so they send this dude, and he's like he's kind of like the lawyer in Jurassic Park, the one that gets eaten in the bathroom, but he's an aliens version of that. They're on the way. So these are all the soldiers that are going to be, in this movie.
They're going to be perfectly fine.
Fighting aliens, and they're all drinking orange juice because it's high in calcium C, and that's good against acid. So they are on their way. They send out a ship. And they get there,
okay. Quick point of clarity. Pump the brakes so we don't get derailed too much. So the ship, in the original Alien movie, the ship that they went down to, the Nostromo went down to check out the derelict ship, where they first encountered the facehugger or the xenomorph. Sigourney Weaver comes back out of stasis. She's telling them what happened, that they escaped from there. The whole crew's dead. That's why the ship was, the Nostromo was blown up, I think, or at least crashed or something, and she escaped in the crash pod, and she's telling them about this, and they're like, well, there's no way there's alien life on that planet. And she's like, how do you know? And well, first of all, they reveal it's been 57 years that she's been in stasis and since been found, and they have this whole scene where they reveal that her daughter died 2 years ago after living a full life, which in the director's cut is actually a picture of Sigourney
mother.
Weaver's mom.
It's her mother. Yes. Give me a point.
Yeah. Grandma. Oh, you were trying to say that, like that fun fact? Okay. Anyway, so they're like, there's no alien life forms on that moon that you visited because we have a whole colony set up there now and we're terraforming the base. It's called Hadley's Hope. And they go down there, and now that's what the crew has gone down to the base to investigate. The whole reason they went there to begin with and convinced Ripley to go is because they lost contact with the base. So that's what they're going to do to establish contact with
no
Hadley's
there.
Hope.
But coincidentally, everyone stopped talking. But I mean, probably unrelated.
All right, you got it, Tom.
Okay, but probably secretly they want to get the aliens. So
speaking of which,
so they find face huggers, and luckily they're not attached to any faces, but unluckily they are in tubes, which might imply that people are trying to propagate these things, and that's not good. And then they find a little kid, and I want to call it Newt. I was going to call her Mouse.
That's the Matrix.
Good.
So they find Mouse. She's really crawly. She can get into places that small things can't. Although it begs the question, what about the facehuggers? But they have not been able to get her.
Okay.
And Ripley takes a shine to her. This is one of the badass soldiers, and I think she's got like some huge, like, I think it's a flamethrower that she's got. And what the fuck is
Isn't
that?
Ripley?
It's a person in a cocoon.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, they find a person. I think he's alive, by the way. He looks super dead here, but pretty sure he's alive because they need you alive to incubate the little babies inside of you. So when he's alive, he probably says something like, "Kill me," because who wouldn't? And then they oblige him and light him on fire, which I would have shot him, but, I guess kill him as painfully as possible. But right behind him is an alien! And oh no! And the guy on the comms, he's looking and he's like, "I see dots everywhere." And we all know dots are bad from the first movie. And Ripley's like, "Wait, dots plural?" She's like, "I only know about one dot." And then the people on the airplane, they're like, I'm not about the dots. We're gonna leave.
Well, they're going in to rescue them, but
we are about
the
the dots.
dropship comes in to rescue the Marines who are escaping. This is after Ripley rams the armored vehicle into the side of the thing that they were investigating and found all the aliens. But at this point, there's like aliens. They're swarming everywhere, and Ripley takes control of the APC and rams the side of the building so that some of the Marines can escape and get in the thing. But then the dropship comes in to save them.
But that can't last, right? Because then the movie would be over. So while they're in it, I bet an alien just crawls on that sucker a lot like in the Prometheus movie, and probably just goes into the propeller or jet engine and explodes.
It seems like there's a standing rule in the Alien movies: if you take off in a ship, there's an alien on it. So there had been an alien on that ship.
Always
so it's crashing and yeah.
And so now they're like, "How do we build a ship?" I'm just kidding. So they are looking at a map and trying to figure out a way to go and probably find another an exit. And then the money guy's like, "Wait, but what about the money?" And so they point out where they need to go, and they're like,
nope. The android is pointing at the side of the reactor. The whole thing's a thermonuclear reactor, and when the ship crashed, it hit the side of it, and they're like, "We've only got 7 hours." And then there's the one soldier who's always like, "Oh fuck, man, fuck." And yeah.
Has game over happened yet? Where he's like, "Game over, man."
Yeah, good call. Game over is this scene right here after their ship crashes. Is the very quotable phrase. Game over,
Bill,
man. Game
Bill
over.
Paxton or Bill Pullman?
I think that is Bill Paxton who does that. Yeah, it's Paxton in this movie. Yeah.
Oh, you also missed the 5-finger fillet scene. Did you? You didn't have that in there.
I didn't have it.
You had the OJ. It was where the OJ was.
It was this scene, where they first just showed that he's an android.
For sure, you were going to cut from the OJ to the 5 finger, so I was waiting for it.
Sorry, I left out some of the little memorable moments. I'm trying to get the main plot.
So she's telling Mousy Newt that, listen, just stick by me. I've already fought one of these, so what's, a couple thousand? And everyone knows facehuggers hate water. So
it was more about setting the alarm off.
and the water thing was a happy accident. So now she's like, "Listen, rich guy who only cares about being rich. There's like a bazillion aliens here. We can't be about being rich. We got to be about saving Mouse Newt." The aliens take the lights to their advantage, and they're like, "Time to eat. Nom nom." And they run away, and Ripley's future boyfriend, who reminds me so much of the guy from Terminator.
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
And
this is actually a scene from Terminator.
Yeah. This is Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Kyle Reese is saving...
That's Hicks, by the way.
Kyle Reese. He's working with Ripley, and he's like, "Listen, do you want to date? Circle yes if yes, and circle no if no." And she circles yes. And so... And they already have a kid, Mouse Newt. So they're pretty excited about their family. And so they try to flee the situation, and they get to, I don't know, the scariest thing ever, it looks like. And then Ripley is like, "Okay, time for me to join the fight." And she's like, "Say hello to my little friend."
So in the sequence of them being ambushed by xenomorphs, everyone died except Hicks and the android who had crawled through a vent to get to remote pilot that dropship in. And meanwhile, Newt was taken away by the Queen. She's convinced that Ripley's convinced that the Queen is still alive, and she goes in armed to the teeth.
So
to go
Ripley
save
says, "Stay away from her, you bitch."
It's a little bit later, but yeah, it
Okay,
happens.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again a little bit later. Also, the Game Over guy, he dies with Soldier Girl in a vent, and they blow themselves up with grenades, and it's a pretty cool way to go. No?
Different guy, but close enough. Yeah. The guy who blows himself in the vent is he was the former commander who had been very cowardly and not knowing what to do when Ripley took control of the APC and rammed it into the side of the building. And that was kind of his redeeming moment, that he blew up himself, Vasquez, and a bunch of xenomorphs in the vents. Yeah.
How does Game Over guy die?
He's blazing his machine gun, and a xenomorph comes out from underneath and grabs his leg.
Dang.
Yeah. Bummer.
So this is the Queen, and she's like, comes out, and then Ripley's like, "Stay away from her, you bitch."
Not quite yet. Still, I mean, try one more time. They get away in the dropship.
So wait, what? This is that they're on this?
Yeah, they get away on the dropship
with the Queen.
Well, you don't think so, but again, the rule of Alien.
Right, if you're on a ship, the alien's on it too, right? So I was going to say, here, it looks so small. So then the 7 hours is up also, and so the thermonuclear explosion happens, and that wakes up the Queen from her hiding spot, and she's
they land back on the main Colonial Marine ship, and they land, and then the android gets absolutely fucking devastated. It's a great scene, and it ages very well. But yeah, and then the Queen, yeah. It's
because of so many practical effects, right? Like,
yeah,
so cool. So then the Queen comes out, and she's
she's carrying the android.
She rips him up, and I suppose he's probably still alive because they just lived through like. Yeah, he's there he is. He's mostly okay, which makes you wonder. Like, so he's like very like biomechanical, and you're like, but do you need to be so much like?
Seems like you could just be a head.
Right, exactly. Like you don't really depend on any of those organs. You're completely fine. And then, I suppose she must have Mouse Newt somewhere, because now Ripley gets into this robot, and she's like, "Stay away from her, you bitch." Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go.
Nailed it. You got it that time.
And then they get into a robot alien fight, in which the alien, I think it tries to do its little bite things, but it keeps missing her. And then like in the first movie, Ripley's like, "I know what to do. I just eject these guys," and goes boink and ejects the Queen. And then Mouse Newt is looking at the android and some other
Kyle
dude?
Reese.
Oh, that's with is Kyle Reese the one with the bag over his head, or the one covered up?
The android has the bag.
The android's like half a dude. Yeah. Okay.
The other one looks like Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It really does. So Mouse Newt's like, "Are you still going to be my dad?" And he's asleep, so he doesn't answer.
But they all go into stasis, and
But yeah, and the answer's gonna be no, because Mouse Newt dies, Kyle Reese dies, and Sigourney Weaver is gonna wake up on a prison planet.
Very unceremoniously, the whole movie's about saving Newt. She's on the fucking cover here, and then Alien 3 starts out and like, "Yes, you're the only survivor, Ripley."
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Aliens. I appreciate you wrapping that up in about, it was a little under 15 minutes, I think. So yeah, that's a 15-minute film with someone who's unexpecting it. Wow. Okay. So that takes us to, what is Colonial Marines about? Well, from the back of the box, it says, fight the fear after the events of the landmark Alien trilogy, which is a little confusing. I'm going to put the brakes on for a second. Maybe it's after the events of the trilogy, because Alien 3 takes place over possibly a few days, and it's maybe concurrent with this game. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. It has nothing to do with Alien 3. But anyway, the Colonial Marines are sent on a rescue mission to planet LV-426, which was the center of the aliens with Hadley's Hope and all, caught between the most dangerous alien species in the universe and the ruthless Weyland-Yutani Corporation. The hunters become the hunted. In campaign mode, you will wield smart guns, motion trackers, and flamethrowers in the ultimate Aliens first-person shooter, and will experience solo and seamless 4-player co-op. Also, there is a competitive mode where there are 2 ways to play, as hardened Marines or as deadly xenomorphs. So, before we launch this game, did anyone know this game existed? Have you heard about Aliens Colonial Marines before?
Yes.
When did it come out again?
2013.
Yeah. I heard about it when it came out.
I've heard of it, but there was another one.
Oh yeah, and Frank, you said that you were aware of this game?
Oh yeah, because as we brought up earlier, this is done by Gearbox. Gearbox had already stumbled with the release of Duke Nukem.
Yes.
And so, because the only thing they were doing good at the time was Borderlands, you know? They were killing Borderlands. It was awesome. And then they came out with Duke Nukem, and everyone's like, well, you know, they kind of got like a half-assed product.
The Borderlands
it's not really their fault.
Really good.
So they're like, but this next game, Colonial Marines, this will be good. Because it seemed, actually, did they get handed this one too? Or was this one they actually had the whole time? I forget.
They had the rights to it the entire time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So this one, they're like, this one's going to be good, though, because they've had it the whole time. It won't be like Duke Nukem, guys. We promise it won't be like, but then it was kind of like Duke Nukem, how a lot of people are upset with it. Which is kind of interesting, because after I played it, I'm like, oh, this is actually not that bad, but, you know, people.
Well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into it.
I want to see aliens.
You want to see aliens?
You know,
okay,
what's funny? The most terrifying
really
part about aliens, if you think about it, is the acid blood. Because you're like,
oh, yeah.
even if I fucking kill this thing, it's got goddamn acid blood. You know what I mean? It's a whole other problem. It's like, yeah, that's right. But then you got to deal with the acid blood. So
that was the whole problem with the first movie, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't make it bleed because it would destroy their ship.
Yeah.
So
what you got a bunch of milk around, huh? You trying to find what's the most base thing you got, you know, to kind of throw over it afterwards?
Here we go. Does this fella look familiar?
It's Kyle Reese.
Yeah, it's Kyle Reese or Dwayne Hicks.
Kyle Reese.
I don't know when this was recorded. It's a message from Dwayne Hicks.
His voice sounds good. He had a little country twang, I remember.
It is the same voice actor.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, here we go. SEGA presents.
SEGA.
With 20th Century Fox. A Gearbox software production of.
A game made by... Oh, yeah. Let's stop.
A Timegate Studios, Demiurge Studios, Nerve Software, and Gearbox software game.
We already knew the Gearbox part.
Gearbox introducing themselves. Now, a game that needs no introduction.
And an introduction.
So we are now looking at the... Well, this is their own ship. This is Sephora. Is their ship? Is like the makeup brand.
Where do you think they got the idea?
And actually, due to consumerism in the future, they actually do have their own military.
Yeah. Dude, everyone's eyeliner is on point there.
Rhino 2-3 went in first and encountered heavy resistance. You are the last of the
Ashley Birch is in this?
Ashley Birch is in this.
Yeah, bro. Cause she's Gearbox. She's Tiny Tina.
Yeah, it's Tiny Tina.
Yep.
All right, so we're finding out that these Colonial Marines are going to find out what happened. What happened to the Sulaco, which was the ship that the Marines on Aliens arrived on.
Sir, the Sulaco was reported last seen over Fury 161. How is it back over this planet?
Lieutenant Reed, thanks for the interruption.
So, what they just mentioned was that the ship was above, like Hadley's Hope, and then it was above Fury something something, and that's the prison planet that is in Aliens 3, and now it's back above this planet.
I thought it crashed.
Not the Sulaco.
Retcon, baby.
No.
The Winter Soldier,
all
if you will.
winter.
We are the Winter Soldier. I don't know how that works, to be honest. Actually, you can stylize your own soldier for multiplayer, so I'm not sure. Oh, let's see. Look at us.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're different.
Yeah, we're all.
Oh, hey.
You're a chick.
Tom is a Puerto Rican.
Or Frank.
Do I need to turn? Or?
I think it's an E. Shore. Shore.
Shore. You Pauly Shore?
I'll be Pauly Shore. I was just watching or just listening to the Goofy movie soundtrack.
Go.
It's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Is that Paul? Oh my God, that's Pauly Shore.
That is Pauly Shore.
Bro, who else would that be?
Yeah, I never put that together. All right,
Hey
we're in airlock.
guys.
Just fucking let me run.
I love how we're in a future
only-
with spaceships, but our comms are from like the fucking 20s.
We have to put our hand up to our head, like
All right, Chris, let me
Sean
read your
in
name.
Psych.
Continuing on.
Even my headset at work allows me to talk without pushing a button.
Oh, we got our little motion
And
detector.
I'm reading 2-3 to the south.
Ah.
Beyond
Be under attack.
It could be under.
Now,
don't
Chris,
know,
I have a
man.
question.
I don't wanna
We still
be
gonna
here.
have AIs with us, or no? Because now we're.
Yeah, they come
15.
with us anyway, and it gets really crowded in the corridors. All right, here's a little fun thing.
for actual.
This is the place where Ripley fought the Queen. I think there is.
It's like we're on a movie tour.
Yeah, right. Oh, here it is over here. Yeah, look behind the ship. See if you notice anything. What's all this white stuff right here? What's going on here?
Semen.
Oh, no, it's
that's from
android
That's
blood.
from the android. It's not semen. Okay.
Hey, Frank,
Android
it was a good
semen.
guess.
It's
It was a
white
good-
lithium.
All right, we're gonna follow the glowing blue.
This is the rare circumstance in which you're wrong.
All right, we're finding our way through our corridors here. We're hearing
we're
creaky
close.
sounds.
Close. One of us should focus on the.
Oh shit! You guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Don't worry, these aren't scripted events at all.
Yeah.
Chris, were you ever a tour guide on Jaws?
This.
Oh, there's
You saw
movement over
something?
this way.
Oh boy. This is the
Yeah, you missed
stasis
one.
pods.
Sorry.
They're all missing.
oh yeah. Our little thing is telling us. There's BP monsters. There's dots.
Jesus, no.
Jesus, no.
Man,
Were you
these-
supposed to see something? I forgot what.
Well,
were
you
supposed
can
to look
just,
at
it's all
something?
fucked up. There is I think there's someone
Oh, this
dead on the
guy,
wall
yeah,
here.
yeah,
This
this
guy,
dead
yeah.
guy.
No,
on the
he's
wall.
alive.
Winner,
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's.
grab your torch.
Cam.
Get me the hell out of here.
Cut him down. I'll cover you. Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh, you guys blasted that thing. Nice. Anyway, back to cutting him down.
I feel bad. I was in the other side of the room. Like,
So as we were cutting him down, an alien
keys from Rhino 2-3.
came out of the wall and
down here, but
started to attack, but we made quick work of him.
To the left.
To the left, to the left. All the xenomorphs on to your left.
All right, we're making our way through the corridors, blasting some xenomorphs.
Oh shit, one's got me.
What is Tom
Oh,
doing
no.
all the way down there?
I think I'm down.
oh, I got teleported to you guys. I was in a real dangerous
Yeah, you were.
situation
You
until
were
I
way
got
down there.
teleported.
Takes like 4 shotgun shots on this mode.
One Xeno.
Also, so it's like they say Xenos, and I was like, do they even know what these fucking things are? I mean, I guess they do.
No, so the term Xeno was only used in the movie Aliens when Ripley was briefing the crew before they went down to the planet, and it's only like said like that a couple times. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the captain says that, not Ripley. She just calls him like the alien or they or it.
She calls them HR Geigers.
Yeah, right.
One of the aliens tried to hug me. Maybe they're not dangerous.
We got the wrong approach
Maybe
here.
they just want love.
Yeah. Are these are armor
Accidentally-
things you can
Oh,
pick up on
behind
the
us.
ground? You could have come in the room. Tom always wants to stay behind and fight.
I was trying to cover our back.
All right, we got a little wave defense here. They're on the walls
This is so much better
with more
as
people.
a team.
Yeah, as it is better.
Yeah. This is so fucking good now.
I'm telling you, like, the games like this, like, no matter how bad they could have been, like, with
Oh, they're up
friends,
top.
they're fun.
They're crawling all over the ship.
Oh yeah, they're coming to us. Don't worry.
We did it, guys. I'm sure it's gonna be fine from here on out.
The game's good. We finished.
What's happening? No!
I don't know if you caught the cutscene, but the guy we rescued from the wall had a little chest bursting incident.
Oh, it's kind of cool, actually. I was, like, last in, so, like, in real life, I was just watching, like,
You just have to
from
take my
behind.
word for it.
It's like, why would we give it the keys anyway? You know?
It was all
It
for
was
nothing.
all for nothing.
Now I'll have to boop another beep.
Gagging on a creature like a spider.
Ew.
Wrapped around my face. It's dead, sir.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna be fine now.
Squad.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's dead.
Rest of 2-3 is
Yeah, you'll be
presumed
fine.
dead. I'm sorry, kid. Remnants of Rondo 2
Look at this guy.
Sorry.
Can you get to the cargo?
Hey, look at this guy.
God.
Look at this guy.
Garnett, keys.
That's how I
I
want to go.
can't even think right now, Maxwell. I'm not sure how to get there, sir.
It's the right expression.
You can't equip different guns between games.
Okay.
Like even customize your own characters. Rank up 5. Damn.
I love the sound for the guns shooting. Like their screech is the same as like
It fits. It's yeah. I think it's good sound design.
Get to Chicago Bay.
us leveling up. We can apply that to things.
Yeah, you can actually add attachments to the guns, unlock different guns, and modify your character
do we
as
do that
well.
mid-game or no?
Yeah, if you hit escape.
Oh, can you?
But don't do it right now.
Oh yeah, arsenal upgrades.
Or maybe not. I don't know. There's enough of us. It's probably not that bad.
I'm level 5, Tom. I think I know what I'm doing. Hey, you guys can come through here.
It wasn't even me talking.
Oh, that was
sorry,
Chris.
Frank. I'm sorry,
okay.
Frank.
All right. No, hey, Chris, if you,
I meant
hey,
to
I
say
mean,
Frank.
well, baby, if you want to go, you can go. That's not that good.
Just shut your mouth, Tom. Shut your mouth while you're not talking to
Hey,
me.
Tom, speak with spoken to. Thank you.
Despite the fact that we're all having fun playing this game is infamous and up there among the worst of worst games, according to most critics, due to its release and such. So, from a VentureBeat article in 2013, Randy Pitchford, the ridiculously named person from Gearbox Software, was talking about how they took a big risk with one of their first games called Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. Honestly, I'd never heard of that before. It's a World War II first-person shooter that did pretty well. Looking forward, they wanted to do a sequel to that and something brand new, which would become Borderlands, and a third project working on someone else's IP. They apparently had secured the rights to Heat, the Al Pacino movie, Val Kilmer, Robert De Niro heist movie. They had secured the rights to it, but nothing actually came of that. Their top choice otherwise was a Ridley Scott property, either Blade Runner or Alien. And they got a meeting with Scott and just kind of palled around the ideas and thought it'd be a great idea to do Alien. Coincidentally, a SEGA rep approached Gearbox to work on a game, and they just acquired, or maybe they acquired because of Gearbox, the rights to Alien. So it all came together. SEGA gave them complete freedom to present them with an idea about what they want to do with the property. And due to their FPS experience, it made sense to do one based on the more action-packed sequel Aliens and expand the universe a bit more by setting up what happens in the cleanup after Aliens. So there are 3 writing credits for this game, all writers with experience on the 04 Battlestar Galactica TV show. The story is considered canon to the Aliens franchise, and as Pitchford describes it in an interview with Kotaku in 2013, it's an FPS, but he describes it as a detective story to explain more plot about the universe and the lore. It's odd that they seem to have like a good handle on the plot of Aliens, but some things like they don't seem to really add up either with what they're doing. I don't personally, it feels like it's shoehorned in there, and the interviewer in this article points out a few confusing things, like the Sulaco, it should have been above the prison planet from Aliens 3, but they just sort of mentioned like, yeah, no, it's back above this place, above Hadley's Hope. To quote from the interview, the interviewer said, "I thought I knew the movies well, but much of what Pitchford told me went right over my head the first time. Hadley's Hope, that's where Newt lived, right? And the derelict, we never really saw much of that, just a glimpse, right?" But the more I thought about it, the more it looked like Pitchford, what he told me, it all clicked together very well. So I don't know, according to them, it seemed like everyone had faith in what they were doing here. Yes, like I was saying, it doesn't strike me as an easy addition into the Aliens lore, but it is canon. So they worked with Sid Mead, a designer who worked on the film, to help design some of the interior of the Sulaco, and they used his designs to further elaborate on what the inside of the ship would be like. And to match the mood, they actually contacted Kodak to get color channel information about film stock they used while filming it. Here's what we know about the timeline of development for this game. I have this messy chart here. So SEGA acquired the licensing in December of 2006 and immediately announced a game was coming. Gearbox began working on it in 2007, or at least Demiurge Studios did. They were subcontracted and are known for contributing to BioShock, Mass Effect, Port to PC, and Borderlands. They have some history worth working for Gearbox. Supposedly they were just supposed to be working helping with like the networking and multiplayer of the game. According to a long article by Jason Schreier on Kotaku, his sources say that Gearbox didn't actually put a lot of work into the game between 2007 and 2010, which is a long time, instead focusing on Duke Nukem Forever and Borderlands. When Sega found out about this, at least the rumors, that they were still cashing checks and moving developers off of the project for other things, they temporarily canceled the game, which led to some layoffs at Gearbox. Borderlands was released in 2009, was a huge hit, and they immediately went to work on Borderlands 2 and decided to outsource the bulk of the work that they needed to do on Aliens to Timegate, another developer. The developer Timegate was stoked to get work on it, but they got the project and they were surprised it was just a hodgepodge of assets, no lockdown script, and the synergy between Gearbox and Timegate was a mess, apparently, with Timegate developing levels and sections that would then be tossed out due to rewrites without warning from Gearbox. And on top of that, Gearbox is being managed by Sega. Sega wanted it to be like a Call of Duty game, more shooting Marines and less aliens, and neither Gearbox or Timegate liked that. And that gets us to the controversy of this game. I'm going to put a quick, here we go. Here's a quick little video here showing a demo versus actual gameplay. So they showed demo gameplay off at E3 2012, years after they had announced the game at this point, and the footage they showed looked great for some of the first cutscenes and after, and there's like really great lighting effects going on in the demos, and it just looks really flat in the final version. Demo has like really great depth of field, fog, shading, it just looks really high end, and definitely a less polished look in the final game. Supposedly the reasoning for this is that Timegate was told just to make it look awesome and don't worry about the performance. Well, what they did was run it on a very high-end PC that had not at all been optimized for the systems it was intended to be released on, 360 and PS3. So according to their interviews, in the run-up to the release of this game, they were constantly cutting back on textures, shaders, particle fidelity in order to get the game actually working on systems. So after Gearbox finishes Borderlands in 2012, they're like, okay, it's time to finish Aliens Colonial Marines in 2012 after it had been announced in 2007. So they take the game back from Timegate, and according to them, well, at least according to Timegate, they changed everything. They didn't like anything that Timegate had produced, and they said that it couldn't even run on a PS3. Gearbox knew they didn't have time to fix it completely and couldn't ask Sega for more time because it had been 7 years. So Jason Schreier's sources say that the game feels like it was made in 9 months because it was. There's some disagreement between all the companies. Timegate says Gearbox didn't actually make that much. Gearbox says 20% was Timegate's work, lawsuits and stuff. 2013, they were sued actually by consumers over false advertising that their trade show demo did not resemble the final product. Sega ended up paying $1.25 million to someone, I guess a class action lawsuit, and they denied any illegal behavior. And Pitchford said he lost between $10 to $15 million of his own money on the game and refuted accusations against the studio. I don't know what that means, his own money. Like, I don't know if it's like an investment in the company or something, but that's the story of the development. So let's jump in and play another game. Oh, if we were looking at each other, you might have missed it. There's a bunch of soldiers running in the place now, and they were shooting at our ship. What? There's enemy Marines. Oh, here they are.
No.
Now we're going to be shooting other Marines.
I got a laser.
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd be cool. But if you whip your gun back and forth, the laser like delays. Like it's a laser.
No. It's
like it's on a string.
It's the speed of light. It's slower than you think.
Right. Wait, are we shooting these guys? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why? Grenades.
Hey, why'd you close that door? All right, who wants to do it?
I do.
You know what you need to do? He doesn't know what he needs to do.
I don't.
Wow,
Press E?
Look what you made me do.
Oh, do we have to huck a grenade at these things?
Oh, here we go. I want to get in the power loader.
There, he found the power. Oh my god, why are you throwing grenades at me?
Yeah, it's
I like
like
that the way you pick up armor is like, oh, there's another helmet. There's another helmet.
Yeah.
I just have
Wearing
3 helmets
6
on top
helmets
of.
right
Yeah.
now.
These look explodable. Frank, look. You think? Oh
Yep.
shit.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris, I think
Right
it
into
explodes.
it. Now I need some more helmets.
Oh man, stack some more helmets on there.
Blew off all my helmets.
I've lost an arm. Put a helmet on it, soldier. It did open a door, a secret door. Frank, look. They're Easter egg alien eggs. You
Where-
guys, come back.
Ah!
So cute.
Oh, look, and it's the tricycle that was in the oh, I don't know if you guys haven't seen the movie recently.
Fine.
So this is Bella.
I pulled it off when I woke up.
She pulled the
Nothing's
face
gonna
hugger
happen.
off her face. It was dead. It's fine. She's gonna be fine,
Oh
you
no,
guys.
Bella.
But don't we already know what happened with the other guy? We saw it happen to Keys, like...
See, our ship is firing at the ship we came in on for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Because here's where it gets a little confusing. We're Colonial Marines, and
Hell yeah, we are.
the movie Aliens would kind of lead you to believe that they work for the corporation, but they don't.
They work
in
for the
this.
colony.
Yeah, they work. Well, they're the United States Colonial Marines, or the United State. No, not the United States. It's United America's Colonial Marines.
I thought we worked for the.
We're Army Marines fighting private contractors for a company, and it's an extra like confusion that wasn't really set up in the movies. Just gonna watch from over here. Oh my god!
His head popped off!
Oh my god, Tom, what did you do? We're
so
just supposed
sorry.
to kill them.
I'm so
His
sorry.
head's gone.
Holy shit, Tom! What the fuck, bro?
Can we put it back?
Holy, you fucking animal,
Can't put
bro!
it back, Tom.
I didn't.
Oh, I removed his head too. His legs are gone too. These people are exploding now. Oh my god!
Oh, I took off a head. Okay, that wasn't happening earlier.
I'm down. I'm down. I didn't have any backup. I'm blaming my teammates.
Shit!
I'm blaming my teammates.
No, I'm down. I was running around shooting people to shotgun point blank.
I was looking for the decapitations as well. I'm to blame as well.
I got once you do it once, you're like.
Yeah, then once you cross that line.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
That's right. What
There's a
other
dog tag
game
here.
was it that we played that like Frank was killing people that I was like, we don't know if we need them to die?
Daikatana?
Is that what it was?
Well, maybe, but
You
also
were definitely killing all the engineers in Daikatana.
No, but what was the other one with the beaches? The fucking animals.
Yes, that
Whatever
was
the
the
name of
one.
that game was. I
Because
don't
we were
remember the
coming
name of
across
that.
people that like very much so did
were,
not
like,
seem
engineers.
bad. Like at least these guys were shooting at us.
Oh
Frank
my
killed
God.
people who seemed wholly innocent.
What the hell was the name of that game? You went to the other planet. You went to Mars.
Yeah, there was a
and-
vaccine.
Yeah, there was a vaccine.
Exodus, Escape Earth, or
Escape
no?
from Earth, Exodus from the Earth. Yeah. Yeah, we're going pistols only, guys. Oh, hitting barrels is cheating.
We're
I
all
haven't
doing
hit
it.
anything.
Everyone's pistols.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
It's the way we do it.
This is how we do
Stormtrooper level
it.
accuracy.
Here they are.
Spray and pay. Spray and pray.
Spray and pay.
I spray, you pay.
Okay, we got to get around the turrets.
What's in here?
It's a
Hey, guys.
turret. Don't run into the turret. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm dying. I got too aggressive with my pistol.
I had a nickel for every time Chris said that to me.
I don't know. Okay. You come back with full health too when you get revived.
Are turrets evil?
Yes, turrets are evil. We got to go behind them to shut them down.
I mean, it's their programming, okay? They're not made evil.
No turret is born evil.
It's how they were raised.
Oh, it's,
Man, this
is it
one
friends?
turret is so mad at me. Okay. Fine. Did you kill it, Frank?
Disarmed.
The pistols are so weak, you guys. You can change back.
Nah, it's so much fun.
I'm down.
Oh, you went in front of the turret. Oh, I
It's
don't
so
know if I
much
can
fun
get you.
to use the pistol.
No, I ran to the side. I
Oh,
think
did
I'm
you?
out.
Oh no. We got to get Hunter
Yeah.
back. We got to get to the checkpoint. It's right ahead. Don't worry.
I just one-shotted a guy with a pistol. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
Okay,
a,
never mind. He's alive.
There's a heavy guy coming towards you.
He's
Frank.
alive.
Never mind. He's alive and he's pissed.
Ow! Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah,
it's one of those.
big guy.
Oh god! The Iron Man guy is here.
I blew him up. You got him.
I shot him a lot, and he did not care.
That's a friend.
There's Iron Man.
All right, Hunter's about. Oh, there's a lot of them here.
Who's shooting?
That's a turret all the way in the back.
Oh my! So it is.
Shotgun guy next to you. Next to you.
Oh!
I just shot that guy in the butt so many times.
I don't know why you ran across. Frank, you weren't supposed to run across.
I'm just so stupid.
Okay, I got to the turret.
I'm dead.
Turret is off. Turret is off.
Oh, now I can look around my dead body. Now I'm see you guys.
You died?
My little heart, it could not take it.
Yeah, we cleared it. Disable the weapons system. Okay.
Because every
be on the
soldier would
lookout
know
for
how to
those
do
legendary weapons.
Okay, we did it. End of level. There have been some other Alien games throughout the year. Starting in 1982, we've got this lovely little fella right here. This is a Pac-Man style Alien game that came out in 82. There's a few games throughout the 80s for PC and Commodore. Then there was a run and gun shooter for the arcades in the 90s. You might have seen it. It looks pretty familiar. Then Alien 3 for the Genesis in 92. This is what the Genesis game looked like. Alien 3. You got Ripley there running through the base, saving people and shooting aliens. That was for the Genesis. 1992. Then we had Alien 3 in the arcades, which is this one. It was a mounted gun, light gun shooter. There's a PlayStation game called Alien Trilogy in 96. There was a massive multiplayer first-person shooter game on PC in 98 called Aliens Online. And let's see, we had a poorly received Alien Resurrection on the PlayStation. There was a DS game called Aliens Infestation. That was made by WayForward Technologies and Gearbox in 2011. They co-developed it along the timeline that we looked at before, same time as this. It's kind of a Metroidvanian style that was fairly well received. And that was called Aliens Infestation. Then we've got this game, which, by the way, was all supposed to have a DS and a Wii U version that were delayed and then eventually canceled. Then after this game, we have Alien Isolation, which if you've heard about a good Alien game, it's probably this one. It received generally favorable reviews. It's had a lot of patches or DLC come out for it that people seem to really enjoy. I don't know too much about it. I got it for free at some point, so.
You never played it? It's like survival horror from what I understand, similar to like Outlast.
Yeah.
I wanted to give it a try, but just didn't want to pay for it.
Seems like it would work well, like a Dead Space style kind of game with
but like you can't like attack or anything. It's a like survival horror, like you're just hiding.
Oh, you're just avoiding. Gotcha. All right, and credits real quick. Let's talk some voice actors. Several actors from the film did come back for this game. Michael, I honestly don't know how to pronounce it. Bine? Must be Bine. Michael Bine, you may know him as Kyle Reese from Terminator, reprises his role as Dwayne Hicks. He commented that he felt like there was a lack of passion from people working on the project, although it was interesting revisiting the character after all these years. Lance Hendrickson, the voice, the android from Aliens, and the android from, he wasn't an android, he was a person in Aliens 3. If you remember the very end of Aliens 3, the person that the androids are modeled after came to see Ripley to try and convince her not to make what happens at the end of Aliens 3 happens. Spoiler alert. He did Mass Effect, Admiral Stephen Hackett in Mass Effect, and General Shepard in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Then we've got some, the regular voice actors. Travis Willingham, well-known voice actor from Critical Role. Jason Douglas, another prolific voice actor who does Beerus and Dragon Ball, and of course, it wouldn't be a game without Matthew Mercer in there. He's voiced another GGN game as well, Metal Gear Survive. Kimberly Brooks voices Redding. She also voiced Daisy Fitzroy in BioShock Infinite, and 1,000 other roles. And finally, Ashley Birch voices Lisa Reed, the pilot character in this game, also known for voicing Tiny Tina in Borderlands, Chloe from Life is Strange, Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn, and has recently done Chun-Li and Mel in Last of Us, and Sasha in Attack on Titan. I didn't know that. Going on, I had notes for the soundtrack. Have you guys heard some of the soundtrack going on in the background?
Vaguely.
It reminds me a lot of it's very orchestral. I feel like that's like what was big with like like the movies.
Yeah, the Aliens movies were done by James Horner. He worked on Aliens. I think it's appropriate for the Aliens franchise, yet it doesn't feel that appropriate to me for this game. I don't know, you just get some horns coming in here or there. It feels like kind of out of place, like you've got this current generation feeling run and gun shooter, and it's music that feels appropriate in kind of a slow-paced horror film like you want to try one of the other modes?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, versus Bug Hunt. Survive 30 waves of enemies.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So this is horde mode in that you can acquire money. Maybe it's more like zombies, you know? You can unlock new areas. You can buy more weapons, I think.
So
I don't
we
know
got
where
like,
they're going to come from. Should we be up
yeah.
here?
Oh, we'll see one. Plus 10%.
Oh,
Okay.
there's ammo and health we can buy in here. That's good.
For 750 and health for 250.
They're coming.
Are they gonna be in here too, or only come from that door?
It seems like there's always a vent. Yeah, they'll come from above behind here, I think, if we just stay in here.
So I was gonna say, this is nice.
So we can't share money, huh? Oh, I know, you can give people money. Give all your money to Frank. That sounds like a great idea.
Wait, how do we give money?
Press E on him.
Hi, I gave him a lot of money. I'm just keeping some for ammo.
Damn, I put my gun in its mouth and I shot it.
Damn. You cold.
Like it's a self-defense move you can do.
You can press V and smack it. Oh, I just did it too. Such a badass.
Oh,
Man,
Frank, that is fancy.
I'm literally just turning these boys into mush.
Yeah, it feels a lot like zombies. Nazi zombies. Yeah, stay out there, Tom. Good stuff.
Okay, I'll stay out there. You protect me.
There's one behind you. Careful.
Please help.
We only have pistols, Tom. What are we supposed to do? We only have pistols, Tom. I'm down.
Oh my god, I'm down.
Yeah, we're all down.
Wave 8.
Oh my god.
All right, so yeah, we were playing some DLC there, and it may surprise you that despite this game's rush to meet the deadline, and it did have a poor reception, it did receive 4 DLC packs. It had a season pass you could buy up front as well. I imagine they were planned with the launch, and maybe they were contracted to do so to create these. I'm not sure, but the first one added was Bug Hunt, which is like a Nazi zombies or Gears of War horde mode where you fight off waves and buy defenses, unlock new guns, areas of the map, etc. And the rest of the DLC is mostly maps, customization options for your character, and does have a prequel campaign that follows Hicks between Aliens and Alien 3. Can't tell you what's in the plot of that. Wrap up the plot for this game real quick. Let's see, I have a couple.
I thought he's like goes to cryosleep and then is dead.
He goes to cryosleep, but he's in this game. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? But you get on board of a dropship. You get off the Sulaco, watching all the cutscenes here from Gamer's Little Playground. They made a game movie out of all the cutscenes. You're smashing into stuff as you're escaping. You end up doing a crash landing on the planet, which is, of course, you know, the planet they went down to on Alien. Down the derelict ship. And they crash. This is where Bella finds out.
What the hell is going on? When you woke with the xenomorph on your face.
I told you it was dead. There's nothing wrong with it.
What, is Bella gonna like pop now?
Well, she's finding out that she's doomed.
How do we know that?
It happened to Keys.
I mean, at least that means like in an action game, like you're gonna go out in a blaze of glory, or at least you should.
You would hope so. Yeah, so Bella finds out, scene where you're fighting some sort of alien boss with a transport load, what do they call them? Mech loader? You're just kind of smacking it in the face. You can't leave a Marine behind, and she's about to shoot someone because she was about to leave a Marine behind. Here they get her to a doctor who works for the corporation. Doctor's about to run, but O'Neill tackles him. Just pounds that guy into the wall.
Not if you understand us.
And of course they're like, you got to take this thing out of Bella. She has to survive.
She had one of those face huggers. It left a baby one in her chest. How do you get?
He kind of looked like was it Marco from Gears of War?
Yeah, it does. They all have that marine look. So basically, there's no way to get it out. It's gonna drain all your organs. It gonna kill you.
I'd be like, why don't we try?
Worth a shot, right?
What's the worst that could happen?
What? As she's saying "oorah" to ashes. Oh, there it is. There's the little guy coming out of the chest. Got him. So goodbye, Bella. So you get sent on a mission from Control to get this person out of there.
They look pissed as shit at you.
This prisoner. Then he's got a black bag over his head. You don't know what's going on. And you're upset because you're like, you actually wanted us to do this mission the whole time. It wasn't about trying to get help for Bella.
You were gonna go either way. Did you know that Bella was gonna die, no matter what?
He says you should remove the bag from the guy's head, and it is Hicks. You know, the Kyle Reese. So Kyle Reese is in this game. Why is he in this game? Well, at one point it does address, like, weren't you on the drop ship? And he goes, it's a long story for another time. And that's kind of where it's left off.
They mean, like, we're not going to explain it.
Yeah.
So, how are you alive, if you don't mind too much my asking? What happened on Fury 161?
Guess we're skipping the softball questions. We left LV 426 and sent out a distress call. A call you all responded to. Near Fury, the ship went into alert, and I was pulled out of cryo as the ranking and only Marine.
Whose body was in your cryo tube?
That's a longer story. I care about one thing, taking these guys down. That's all I got left, guys.
Yeah, so they did just address, like, well, someone went down
They're saying
in the cryo
it's not
tube.
his body in the tube, yeah.
Yeah. But here's a quick scene of you fighting another alien queen, because there was more than one queen. And you can see some great AI going on here. You're just shooting her through the other side of a tube. And there's one last sequence here. To the end, everyone's okay. But you're going to face the corporation. And inside, on the other of the door, he's saying, on the other side of this door is Michael Weyland, the reason we're all here. We lost everyone because of this person. We need him alive, you understand? I know Neil's about to lose it, though.
We can get these guys. Now wait, before you shoot me, wait, just wait!
Do you even know? Do you even know what you take away?
Oh, thank you for not killing me.
What?
Oh my god.
I just shot your guy.
We needed him!
Look again.
So Hicks convinces you to shoot him, but it was a android. It wasn't the real Weyland.
How did you know that wasn't the real Weyland?
So anyway, they're going to take that android and they're going to hook him up into their android, and they're going to try and download all the data from him. As they're drifting off into space, Bishop, your android, says,
We got everything.
We got everything. And that's just the end of the game. I'll be honest, this like hits the same tone for me as most of the Alien movies. Like it alludes to some great lore, but I'm not that interested in understanding who the engineers are or what this corporation's doing. But that's the end of the campaign for Aliens, Colonial Marines.
See, I think a lot of people don't like Aliens 3, and maybe it's been a long time since I've seen it, but for me, like, I like that it, like, the idea of, like, if it ends there, of just like the only, you know, I mean, like, there are these groups, the Weyland Corporation, that would maybe want to weaponize these things, but, like, it doesn't get much beyond that. I feel like it's when the crazier ones come out where Ripley gets, like, revived and she has fucking superpowers and shit, like, where it gets weird.
Yeah.
Like,
so
she has acid
I
blood
agree.
in, like,
Aliens,
a future one.
Aliens 3, you would watch the end of Aliens 3 and kind of come to the conclusion that that original derelict ship has been nuked. What's it called? Halen's Hope or whatever it was, is gone. Because that's what that picture, that screen that we looked at, like, it was nuked. And yet in this game, you go back to it and it's like mostly fine. And then like one more alien got onto the ship where Ripley was, and she kills it at the end of 3 by sacrificing herself so that the corporation doesn't get it. That puts a nice little bow on it, you know.
I couldn't agree. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently, like, if you were to look at this game as this is canon, it's like, well, no, they could have gone back to the planet and there's thousands of them there. The corporation could have got their hands on another alien so easily. So Ripley's sacrifice didn't mean a whole lot. All right, well, let's move into some retrospective news here. So one interesting article that you may have heard of, or will usually come up when you are looking into this game, is this article on Ars Technica that says a years old one-letter typo led to aliens, colonial marines, weird AI. So apparently, when it went down to sale to $3 in 2018, one fan posted on some forums that it's actually a good game and let's get some people playing it, and that there's a fan-made patch that really improves it. Apparently, like when looking into the patch about like why is it so much better with this patch? Well, one of the fixes was coding in the AI. One of the lines of code instructs the enemy to tactically position and adjust like while patrolling in their zones, and like it should tether behind you. And when the system is implemented, it instructs them to call on that tether system, but they instruct them to call upon the tether system that they wrote with the letter A, so tether, and it turns out that the whole tethering system never worked and no one noticed it. And the version that you download on PC that's still available to this day is unpatched. And it was one letter that they accidentally put into the code. And apparently the AI system is much better with that system in place. But the fan mods have gone much better, much further beyond that to version 6 now by Templar GFX. And by all accounts, it's like graphically good, pushing the graphical limits of it and the AI much further. As they say, though, on their own like description of their mod, and Aliens Colonial Marines is not a miracle patch that turns the game into what it was once promised and teased back in the day, and there's still many bugs and issues that remain that cannot be fixed with a hex editor. But despite all that, this game did sell 1.31 million units in 2013, which isn't nothing. In comparison, Last of Us sold 3.6 million that year. So a little more than a third of what Last of Us sold in 2013. So it was amped up and sold quite a bit. What do you guys think from the original that they pitched, an Aliens FPS, to what they produced? Do you think they delivered on what they promised?
I think so.
I think if you're playing multiplayer, especially, this is one of those games like if you were playing by yourself, I feel like maybe it would get kind of annoying. But like in a group, that would I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. Every time we play multiplayer, I end up liking it. But I thought that was fun. Although I will say I played a like effectively this game, but the newest. There's a Aliens game that just came, or it was out very recently.
I think that's Fire Team.
Yeah, that sounds right. And
I've heard really good things
Fire
about
Team
that.
Elite, yeah.
Yeah, I played it like without anyone. I just played it just me, and I thought it was pretty cool. All I'll say is that to the credit of this game is that while you're on a ship and like everything does kind of feel the same, it seems like there was a story to this, whereas Fire Team, I got bored really quickly of being like this, like missions. It felt like I did the same thing like 5 times in a row, and I got
grind, yeah.
And I got really bored. But if you have friends, I feel like it would probably be fun. It'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah, especially back in 2013.
Yeah. Is that when this came out?
2013 this came out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no,
crazy.
not Fire Team, this game, yeah. I think graphically, if you were looking for what they promised in the demos, I think you'd be let down. In 2013, I don't think that it was that much of a problem, but it does feel like a little bit of a bland shooter. But as far as like if you enjoyed the Nazi zombie kind of experience, that bug what's it called, bug hunt mode, seemed like a lot of fun. The campaign I don't care about. It's a lot of like running down corridors and
I think that's the problem with Alien, like as a genre, like pulling from the movie. If you're like, I want it to be like Aliens, right? The settings are gonna be shit, and that's what kind of sucks. Like for a movie, it's fine, you know what I mean? But when you're playing a game and you're just in another corridor, it just feels really bland.
You have all of like the engineers kind of architecture, like a lot of the stuff based on H.R. Geiger that you could run through, which I think might make that a little more interesting. If we're talking, one thing that I really didn't care for, there's like a lack of polish, which I think, you know, we all already know because of the, like, what was it, 9-month time period or whatever.
Yeah,
but
that they actually were working on it.
I think along with that, it just, there's not a lot of weight to anything. And I don't know if it's just because this is 2013 and I'm like comparing it to current games, or if even then it just, I don't know, you shoot at the aliens and you see little green sparks and then they die. And that's kind of it. It doesn't feel weighted. It doesn't feel like every gun fires like exactly when you trigger it. There's no any kind of like delay or trying to.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about like a Space Marine game should feel like Gears of War. I think like that has some real fighting alien weight to it.
Felt
and
hollow. Like all the aliens are essentially the same enemy. Then you're fighting the Marines, and all the Marines were the same, except you have like regular Marine and then big Marine. It felt like the very basis of a game, and then like you could have added so much to it.
And Gears of War 3 had come out in 2011, so 2 years after Gears of War 3.
Then, yeah, this game definitely feels like it lacks any kind of weight.
All right, let's talk some reviews here. What do you think the critics in their ivory towers bestowed upon this game? 0 to 100. Tom?
I feel like people were like upset with this when it first came out for some reason. So I'm gonna say 45.
I'll go 55.
Frank, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 65.
65. Well, you look at that. We have another cheater in our midst.
No way.
It was Tom this time, not Frank. All right, Frank or Tom, I'll give you a point for that. All right, let's read a couple of reviews here. I'm going to send you guys some reviews to read on Discord real quick.
IGN gave it a 50. Aliens Colonial Marines looks like aliens and sounds like aliens, but unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like aliens. Instead, it feels indistinguishable from almost every shooter you've played in the past 20 years. That sounds really fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have replaced the aliens and the enemy Marines with anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It aside from the first sequence where, like, before you've seen the alien and there's some, like, horror to it and you're creeping around, then you're just running around blasting everything.
GameSpot. The Alien franchise deserves better than this. Aliens Colonial Marines is a disappointing exercise in bland corridor shooting, dragged down by laughable dialogue and cooperative play that makes the game worse than when you adventure on your own. That's just not. Colonial Marines is unremarkable in every conceivable way. It's far too easy, generally devoid of tension, and lacking in the variety it so desperately needed. I really wonder what kind of friends this guy had. Like,
it made the experience worse.
Yeah, like we have played some really shitty games, and like the millisecond that we play together, I always am like, this is kind of fun, actually. Like,
yeah. Frank, what you got?
PC Gamer gives it a 48. Deeply underwhelming. Neither staged carefully enough to be scary nor dynamic enough to be exciting. It succeeds only where other players are capable of breathing life into it. There are better linear shooters, better asymmetrical multiplayer games, and better Alien sequels. And your love of the motion tracker and pulse rifle would need to be profound to surmount these obstacles.
Well, there you go. One from GameSpy here, giving it a 40. Aliens Colonial Marines didn't leave me catatonic, but it did leave me scratching my head and wondering how a game that's been in development for roughly 7 years at the same studio gave us Borderlands 2 could be released in such an uninspired, unpolished state. Strangely and perhaps fittingly, it's all wrapped up in a frustrating note that sets up some sort of Aliens tell-all continuation of the story without giving any actual answers. And one more for you, Hunter, from Giant Bomb.
Yeah. Giant Bomb gives it a 20. Both functionally broken and creatively bankrupt, Aliens Colonial Marines is an extinction-level disaster.
Yikes. Yowza. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh,
Pretty damning.
This is a GIF that was going around for a while shortly after launch, kind of thing that would be posted to Reddit, showing the really bad AI, a character just standing there, and this is Xenomorph just sort of loping around, just vibing. Yeah.
He's living his best life.
It looks like it's a guy in a suit pretending to be scary. Like,
oh, I'm gonna creep up on these guys.
Yeah.
And here's a compilation here of glitches that someone put together. Martin Salonen put together of glitches. All right, we've heard from the critics, but let's hear from some of the people what they say. Hunter, who do you have there?
Diablo Lequin,
sure,
on Metacritic says 3 out of 10. This is a subpar game, a disservice of the Aliens license. WTF Gearbox, brain dead AI, poor textures, boring corridor shooter. This game is candidate to worst game of the year 2013.
Wow,
he cared for it.
Tom, what do you think? Or Tom, what do you have?
This is by Gaius Baltar.
Sure.
2 out of 10. Says crap game. Bought the hype that Gearbox would actually make a good game out of a most beloved franchise. AI is you can actually run through the whole game without fighting or taking on an alien. Check on YouTube for the video for proof. This is a joke game, not worth $60. Save your money. I'm gonna say that this guy didn't even play the game.
Doesn't have any friends, is what we're saying about him.
Yeah, he doesn't have
You know
any
what?
friends to play it with.
On Game Pass recently, I saw that like when games come out on Game Pass, people just go into the reviews and just like tank them for just for no reason. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
Because they're gamer trolls. Wow.
Yeah, you know what? And I think Gaius Baltar, you're a gamer troll.
Oh my goodness.
Calling you out.
Wow, calling it's defamation. Frank, what you got?
Barely Canadian on Steam says, first time playing, NPC blocks the door and kills me. Second time playing, aliens decide they will just run straight to my bullets. Third time playing, I cried when I can get into the yellow robot suit only to be able to move 2 steps before having to dismount again. Fifth time playing, went online and found a cheap spot as an alien, killed the Marine players by spitting acid for the whole round. After that, uninstalled and continued to cry as I watched the old E3 trailers. Conclusion? I see this button saying, do not recommend this game. I tried so hard to find the nuke it for more, but it's the only way to be sure.
Yeah. And one more review here from Steph Jam X on Steam. They says, I had my heart broken several times in life. Once on Christmas Day in 1989, I eagerly ran downstairs and gasped at the sight of what clearly was a crudely but lovingly wrapped skateboard. A skateboard that I had wanted ever since I saw Marty McFly cruise through the streets of Hill Valley on a stowaway behind an unsuspecting SUV driver. A skateboard with a custom deck with artwork that would cause my fellow skateboarders to shout, rad! A skateboard whose wheels would send me gliding across the streets as I headed to the nearby half-pipe. I grabbed it and with my shaking hands and heart beating against my chest, I tore that festive wrapping off as hard as I could. Through an intricate web of sticky tape, ribbon, and ever-expanding wrapping paper I dug. Years later, I wondered if this is what Andy in Shawshank Redemption must have felt like as he dragged himself through the tunnel. My own redemption was in sight. My prize was near. Finally, the last shred of packaging fell away to the floor, and there it was, a plastic skateboard from the local store with stiff plastic wheels and a picture of a clown on the deck. That's what playing Aliens Colonial Marines felt like. Not recommended.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, thanks for that, Steph Jam X. All right, well, let's get into our reviews. You can see on stream here, there's a quiz coming up, so you guys get some points.
Shit.
Yeah, get ready. But our score system here is a little bit unique. Most use a 0 to 10 scale, but leaves little appreciation for games that are so bad they're good. So as normal, you've got your masterpieces of media near 10. So let's say the film Alien. And if you're scoring a little lower, maybe Alien 3, I think most people would say is closer to like a 7. And as they get worse, they get closer to 0, but we keep going all the way to negative 10. Once it gets into the negatives, it starts getting good again, like, in my opinion, at least
Alien
Prometheus.
vs. Predator.
That was better. Yeah, Alien vs. Predator for sure.
I feel like you would think Prometheus is like a -2, -4.
Yeah, I got pretty bored, I remember. But I remember I watched Alien vs. Predator in the back seat of a truck at a drive-in theater with some friends. So I was like leaning down the whole time to watch it. It's one of my least favorite movies because of that. Anyway, so yeah, the point is -10 is giving you just as much enjoyment as +10. 0 is a waste of your time in garbage valley. So where would you guys put this on the scale?
You know what? I don't hate this game. I could see how, if we had all the hype and everything and you were excited and you paid $60 for it, you could be really disappointed. But now we have the ultimate version. Well, Hunter doesn't. Sorry, Hunter.
That's going to affect my score.
Yeah, it should. As it should. So, Chris, this is on you.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just an okay game, and the multiplayer's fun. Once again, it's a dead game, so you need people to play with because there's no one.
Unfortunately, for team deathmatch, you need at least 10 people.
Yeah, or maybe there is a limit. Maybe 4 it would do it. So I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 5 from Frank.
And if you could do more online stuff with less people, I maybe get higher. But I think it's a 5 because the story mode, it's whatever. But I really did like the bug hunt. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. All right, Hunter, what do you think?
I don't have the deluxe edition. I didn't get to play the fun games with you. There was nothing really for me to pull it into the negatives. I just there wasn't enough, like stupid glitches or funny stuff. So honestly, it gets a pretty low score for me. I'd probably give it a 2. It just I think if you asked me in the future to play this game with you, I'd just be like, nah, I'm okay. Yeah,
I'm good.
I just
got other things to do.
We played a little bit. I feel like we got a lot of everything. There's not a whole lot of weapons, and the upgrades didn't really seem to change all that much. So I don't think you're gonna like the experience isn't gonna change.
Sure, and you don't like playing with us, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, but it didn't really add anything to the series as a whole, like we talked about, and it didn't change anything for video games, and it didn't even live up to its own hype. So we'll go
yeah,
2.
They oversold it to begin with, right?
Yeah.
2. All right, and Tom, what do you think?
Short and sweet. Frank, he was kind of pulling straight from my mind. I agreed with him on almost everything. And watching the clips now too, I'm kind of impressed that it seems like they do go away from the bulkhead corridor thing. I know we're in a cave.
Yeah, you get out the ship and you're on land, and it's the blown up Hadley's Hope that you end up running through, but it's it's the right environments that you would expect from a sci-fi space thriller.
So yeah, I agree with Frank. 5.
All right. I'm sorry. What was your final score there?
5.
5. Okay. Yeah, I don't have too much to add there. I thought the campaign, like we were saying on single player, was just boring, and I was not interested to find out more about the plot that I was already confused about. Like we were saying, you consider yourself a fan of the Aliens franchise, and it's been a while since I saw the movie Aliens, and I made you try and recount it, but that's not what you come away with for Aliens movies in my mind. The plot, it's more about the aesthetic, the feel, the H.R. Geiger feel, the style of the monster and stuff, and the horror that the first Alien movie is. So me being interested in what the corporation's doing, I don't know, that doesn't do anything for me.
At the risk of sounding like I'm not such a huge mega fan, but I'll say that I think in almost every horror movie or monster movie, if you want to even expand to that every time, for the most part, that you get to the monster, I feel like they're lame. And the xenomorphs are they're just so fucking cool, man. They're so cool. I just think they're just one of the coolest monsters. The whole the mouth and the mouth thing, and that whole
the mouth and the mouth
sleek look, and the way their heads are, and they're wicked cool. They're super cool. So I don't know. You're right. I feel I don't know. And that's what the future movies did. I feel like they kind of took away from them, is it made it about other more complicated shit, and you were just so the aliens at that point just become this boring thing, that are afterthought, and it's sad.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I for a score, I think I'd put it probably in the 5 area as well. Yeah. I'll say 6 because I think if it was full fleshed out with all the DLC, I think, and I will grade it with that as if it came with that. Yeah. I think you'd have some fun with this. It just came out too late was the issue. If it came out when it was supposed to be, probably like 2008, could have made some ripples, I think. But and actually, Gearbox worked on it instead of Duke Nukem, apparently. So like I said, we're going to do a little trivia here to earn some more points just at the end, because there's something that I want to give to someone, and I'm so excited that it exists. On Thingiverse, I found there's lots of aliens, sculptures, and xenomorph figurines and stuff, but the best one by a mile is someone took the xenomorph head and merged it with a little Buddha figurine.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is a sitting Buddha with a xenomorph head, and it's wonderful. But I've got to award some points here because we got Frank sitting at -3 because he was finishing his burrito before we started. Hunter at 0 and Tom at 1. I can't remember why I awarded these points, but that's what they're sitting at. Okay, first question for our quiz. You guys can just yell it out. What was the name of the ship in Alien?
Nostromo.
Oh god, I think you guys got it at the same time. What is the name of the ship in Aliens? We talked about it a lot tonight.
Sloka.
Oh, it's close enough. I'll give you 0.75. It's a Sulaco.
Sulaco.
Yeah. What is the name of the ship in this game?
Sephora.
Oh, another point for Hunter there. Creeping up Hunter with 2.75, Tom with 2, Frank in the back.
Oh my.
What happens to Newt, the girl Ripley is taking care of in Aliens 3?
She's killed by a facehugger.
She dies.
Dead.
I'm going to give a point to Frank because she does not die to a facehugger. They either do the autopsy on her or... but the facehugger, it attaches to the dog at some point. I don't know that it attached to anyone. She just died in like entry in the crash. Yeah, she was the only survivor of the crash, yeah. What is the alien scream? You know, that iconic scream. What is that noise from? Is it a person's scream that's been digitally altered? Is it tires screeching? Is it an altered monkey's screech? Or is it a scraping metal sound?
Altered monkey.
I'm going to say tire.
It's another point for Hunter there. It is an altered monkey screech. They got a baboon and they digitally altered it. We didn't go over this, but it's a line from the movie. In the movie Aliens, when Private Hudson asks Vasquez, the tough girl, "Hey Vasquez, you ever been mistaken for a man?" What does she reply?
Have you?
That is correct, Tom.
That is
she says, "No, have you?"
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just was like, what would be the best insult?
All right. What does the series Aliens have in common with Terminator? Anything, really.
Kyle Reese.
Tom said Reese first. Anything else? Just any other... There's quite a few things that the series has... Sure, female lead, yeah. Yeah. And,
I guess you could say they have evil corporations.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Time travel of some sort, even though Ridley's is just being frozen.
Yeah, it's
not time travel.
It's just moving forward, Frank.
Yeah, that's just the way we all time travel.
We're all time travelers.
She went 500 years in the future, or 50 years in the future.
Something to do with the creation of the movies?
Geez, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was looking
Practical
for
effects.
James Cameron did Terminator and he directed Aliens.
Oh.
Yeah, in fact, Aliens, the sequel to Alien, was delayed because they liked his screenplay so much that they delayed it for the sake of having him make Aliens. And Sigourney Weaver was not actually signed on. He didn't realize until he got really into making the film and writing it all. Let's see what else we got. Quotes from Aliens. Give me any memorable quotes.
Game over, man.
Yeah, that's one. Any others?
Get away from her, you bitch. Obviously.
Yeah, all ones we've done tonight. That's fine. Just one more thing that the android says after essentially Ripley has, killed the queen and ended the movie. Not as memorable. He says, "Not bad for a human."
How about
and the other line was...
I've got one.
Okay.
How about hey Vasquez, you ever get mistaken for
Okay, you
a
can't.
man?
Can't do that.
No, have you?
The other one we might have skipped over was while they were on the ship. Oh, sorry. They had retreated from Hadley's Hope, and they were talking about what they should do about the infestation. They were talking about we should go back to the drop ship, and the only thing to do is nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
How about we've got 7 hours before it explodes?
It's not a memorable line. We already talked about this. I'm not going to give anyone a point that the disgraced commander, he redeemed himself, I guess, by blowing himself and Vasquez up. What is the name of the corporation?
Weyland-Yutani.
Point for Hunter. What do people who are cocooned always say?
Kill me.
Yeah. Happens like 4 different times. They find him and they're like, kill me.
It's what you would say though. Like to be fair, they were like, okay, so let me give you the scene. You have an alien inside of you.
You can feel it moving around.
Right. It is fully almost gestated. You can feel it wriggling around inside. Horribly painful. You are stuck onto the wall. Your death will be imminent. Because it's going to rip through your organs.
What does that scene say to you?
Right. You find a person who is in front of you, and they have a gun. What do you say to said person? Every time it would be kill me. Like.
All right. One last one to take it all. I'll see how many you can get. H.R. Geiger, a Swiss artist known for biomechanical designs, created the original Xenomorph. Can you name anything else that he's done?
Did he do the Predator?
He did the lead singer of Korn's microphone. He did
I have a picture for it right
piece
there.
called Penis Landscape.
Oh, wow.
Which is actually one of my favorite pieces of art. And I think it's called Baby Machine is what he's most famous for, which is a gun with baby bullets.
Wow.
What?
I did not expect. I didn't think Hunter could actually do it. Hunter is sitting at 7.75.
Hold on, let me see if you can.
We can't look it up.
Let me see if I can turn. No, if I can turn a light on so you can see my. I have one of his pieces behind me.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
on the wall,
I don't think it's called
you'll be
Baby
able to
Machine,
see
but
it.
it is on his Wikipedia. Yeah, Birth Machine. Very close.
Birth Machine,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is his sculpture, Birth Machine. Very cool.
But yeah,
looking.
and also I think it's in the first Alien, when they first see the engineer, that's obviously one of his sculptures, that huge set piece.
Yeah,
Wow.
Very heavily inspired by his work. Like he said, it's biomechanical is kind of his design's aesthetic.
I did
so cool.
a presentation on him in college.
Oh wow, you definitely had an edge on that question.
Yeah,
all right,
he had like a really big fear of population, like overpopulation and stuff.
Like
That's what.
Oh.
No, just like he feared what would become of the world with too many people on it.
Did he have agoraphobia also?
Probably, but
Just gonna leave this guy up. I like this guy. It's a little wobbling Xenomorph.
It's kind of cute.
That's exactly what H.R. Geiger had in mind.
look how scary it is. Looks like a choo-choo train.
It's right from my nightmare. Chugga, 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 chugga.
All clips in this podcast were used in compliance with the U.S. Copyright Fair Use Exemption for criticism and commentary. Garbage Game Night makes no claims to ownership over any games played and has no affiliation with any developer or publishing company. For additional references on cited articles and quotes, check our episode-related blog at garbagegamenight.com. Or if you have a comment about the game we reviewed or have a suggestion, drop us a line.